Good morning, influencers. Good morning. Hello. I am back. Hello, good morning. First, I want to start by saying thank you all. Thank you so much for tuning in on Wednesday night. Wow, our co-hosts Jay and Jay, yes, my babies, y'all, Jared and Jakayla, they led the show on Wednesday night. As you can hear, I'm still congested, but I am back. Still not feeling my best, still not feeling 110%. But I had to tell you all, my babies, listen, they did that. They showed up on Wednesday night, and I was super excited, super happy. I had a fever, and I was just telling them, like, when I first asked them, they was like, Mom, I can't do that. I said, yes, you can. And I was just talking to them about consistency, and I was talking to them about in my absence, like if God forbid something should happen to me, how somebody has to keep Wow Inspire going, how somebody has to keep with the flow of things and in consistency. Even when we don't feel like doing something, we still have to show up and do what it is that we have said we are going to do. It's a part of being consistent. It's a part of being trustworthy. It's a part of follow through, right? So I'm super excited to be back on this morning with you all. Yes, I am here just being who I am, like no makeup today, a little lip gloss, but that's it. As you can still hear, I'm congested, but this morning, I woke up this morning with, some words being spoken to my spirit that I would like to share with you all today. Yes, and I had been up since 7 o'clock this morning, and this season, the sinus season, is ridiculous. So, but anyway, today's topic is significance in service. And what I wanted to tell you all today is to understand that there is significance. Your life, your story has great significance. Everything that you went through, everything that you have encountered, every experience has a level of significance that you must give to someone else. Without your experiences, without your trials, without your victories, without those things that you have celebrated, you would not be able to give someone else your story, or you would not be able to walk in your purpose power, right? In the magnitude that you do, carrying the substance that you carry at the things that you do. I don't know who is tuning in, but I see we have some viewers. So thank you for coming on this morning. Comment to let me know who you are, where you're tuning in from. We just appreciate all the support and the encouragement that you all have given, even myself, throughout this transition and the launch of Wow Inspire. So today, did y'all hear my baby say, so tonight? So I just love them. Like, they were actually watching my lives on YouTube. And the first time they went live, I was trying to actually tune in from upstairs. And because they were live from the Wow Inspire page, I actually messed up their broadcast. So yeah, it was me. And they went back on, but even in the 5 minutes they were live, what they said in the live had great substance in it. Do it again. I don't care what it looks like, do it again. So this morning, significance in service, right? Significant, the word significant by way of definition is the quality of being worthy of attention or importance, right? So understand that in significance, there is a quality of being worthy of attention and or importance. So yes, your life, your story has a great level of significance. You are worthy. Your story is worthy of attention. The things that you have to share with somebody else is important. It has a great quality of importance that you must share with someone else, right? The term service is defined as the action of helping or doing work for someone. So significance in service is your quality, your worthiness of what you have encountered, what you have experienced is important, because the action of you helping or doing work for somebody else, you sharing your story, your life experiences that you went through and the things that you encounter, they were not for you. They were to be of service to somebody else, right? So this morning when I woke up, I'm like, God, like, give me some type of scripture text to go along with significance and service. And I was just thinking about Jeremiah. In the book of Jeremiah was dropped in my spirit. And in the book of Jeremiah, I just was just wondering, like, oh my God, Jeremiah was just amazing, right? So in Jeremiah, the first book of Jeremiah 1:5, it says, God says to Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. So I say that to say that, God set you apart. He knew your life. He knew what you were going to go through. He knew that the things that you had to encounter, your family, some of the families that we were born into, some people were like, God, you sure you wanted me to be a part of this family? As dysfunctional and as crazy as they are, God, you sure you wanted me to be a part? And he says, as he said to Jeremiah, he's saying to somebody this morning that before he formed you in the womb, he knew you. He knew who you were before you were born. He set you aside. He told Jeremiah he appointed him as a prophet to the nations, right? So I was just like studying, and I'm like, God, I know Jeremiah was a great prophet. He was mighty at what he did. He was very obedient in his ways. So I'm like, well, God, at any point in this walk, did Jeremiah start to feel discouraged? Did he go astray? Did he have any of those encounters? Because I wanted to use this story, right, to talk about the significance of your life, your experiences, and your story. And in this, I was just like reading the different chapters of Jeremiah. There are 52 books in the book of 52 chapters, in the book of Jeremiah. And I was talking to one of my girlfriends this morning. I'm like, 52 books. And the things that God is saying to Jeremiah prophetically in these books is so rich in substance and so good. I was just telling her, like, God, like, I really got to study this. Like, I'm going to be intentional about reading those 52 books, because those 52 chapters, because it was so, what I was reading, it was just like, wow, wow, wow. So anyway, God has allowed Jeremiah to prophesied and to speak to the nation of Judah and to Jerusalem. And he is like literally warning them about, the life that they are living. So again, I'm like, God, well, was there any time did Jeremiah start to feel like, listen, I'm talking to these people are not listening, and these people are now consuming me, and they are literally like influencing me to feel like what I'm doing is out of the norm, because everything around me is dysfunctional. So I was just like, God, give me some more. Good morning, Maisha. Good morning, Ty. Good morning, Tori. Thank you all for tuning in. So I'm like, God, give me some more. Talk about the significance in Jeremiah's life. Let me tell the influencers that are watching this morning the significance in their life. So he just started me at Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in your womb, I knew who you were before you were born. I set you aside. I set you apart. So yes, even when you don't feel like I'm fit to be in the position that I'm in, God already predestined your life. So I'm reading, and God is literally like burning Jeremiah up, like, tell him this and tell him that and tell him this and tell him that. And I can only imagine being in the human flesh, you going to somebody and telling them what God is saying for you to tell them. Talking to nations of people, right? Nations, like God's mighty hand removed, help their ancestors in this nation to transition from Egypt. Yes, from bondage in Egypt. So it's like, well, you know, their ancestors had a story. So if God, you telling me to tell these people this, why is it that they're not understanding? What is it about what I'm saying that still makes them not believe? So I'm like, God, help me. So I get to the 12th chapter, and I just want to share this. And I like to read from the Message version of the Bible because it is so plain, right? It's so plain. It's so relatable. So in the 11th chapter, God is talking to Jeremiah. He's giving him instructions, words to deliver to this nation. And Jeremiah comes back to God and said, you're right, oh God. You said things right. I can't argue with that. He says to God, but God, I got some questions. Why do bad people have it so good? Why do con artists make it so big? You plant them, you put them down roots. They flourish, they produce fruit. They talk as if they're old friends with you, but they could care less about you. So Jeremiah is saying to him, God, you telling me to go talk to these people. You telling me what to say to them. And you're right. You're the one that sets correction. But why is it that I feel like in my human side that they can get away with whatever they want to get away with? But here I am. He says, meanwhile, you know me inside and out. You don't let me get by with a thing. God don't let me get... Jeremiah saying, you letting these people do whatever they want. You are giving me the tools and what to say to these people, and they're still not hearing. Like, they doing everything contrary to what you're telling me to tell them. But little old me, God, he says here, you know me inside and out, and you don't let me get by with a thing. What? So let me just stop, right? So I was trying to give another twist to this. So just here alone, I want to encourage you. I want you to be inspired to understand that when God has called you as he did, such as Jeremiah, I don't care what people around you look like they not getting. And Jeremiah, I'm sure, got to a point in a place where it's like, God, I'm sick of telling these people what you are telling me to tell them. They are not listening, but yet they are still doing what they want to do. But here it is, me, oh God, you tell me to do something. The minute I feel like, as we all do, we get to that place where we feel like, they doing everything they big enough to do. I'm looking at the time, y'all. They doing anything they big enough and bad enough to do. But the minute I want to do something, I slip to the left. Here it go. I'm being punished. God, what is this about? So this morning, y'all, I want to inspire you to understand that it's not that people are doing what they want to do, because as I read in the scriptures, I continue to read as Jeremiah began to ask God questions like, why does it seem like the con artist, why does it seem like he make it so big, right? But that's us viewing it in the natural sense. It looks like the person that's cheating the system is making out better than what you are. It appears to be so. But I just want you all to be inspired that the substance that God has put on you, the significance that rests on your life and the experiences that you have went through, the significance of the stories of the encounters and the things that you had to overcome, that you may tell somebody else, that it may be of somebody else's service. You're going to take what you've been through, right? Your experiences to service, right? The definition of service, by way of definition, is the action of helping or doing work for someone. Somebody else. Yes, you did not go through what you went through for you. You did not experience what you experienced for you. Yes, the molestation was not about you. The rape was not about you. The outcast, the backlash was not about you. It wasn't personal towards you. But, it's horrible to say. But at the same time, guess what? You experienced and you went through what you went through. You experienced it because of the significance and the substance that God knew it would produce when the testimony came out of your mouth, Ty, out of your mouth, Taisha, out of your mouth, Maisha. God knew that if I allow Tori to go through the hurt of the relationship. That when I bring Tori out on the other side, when I start allowing Tori to see her how I see her, she's going to identify that it was nobody that brought her through all that she encountered, all that she went through, but God, right? And because of that, I am able to utilize what Tori, what Ty, what Maisha, what Taisha, what all of you all have went through. I am able to utilize it to produce a substance that when you open up your mouth and speak, that somebody else may say, God, if it worked for her, it can work for me. So there is significance behind everything you encounter. Yes, Taisha, there is significance behind even the process that you're going through. You're growing through a process. And I cannot stress enough. Yes, we are human. We're going to go through some emotions. There's going to be some emotions that take place down on the inside of us, even on the surface of us. We're going to cry. We're going to feel what we feel. And that is okay, right? But don't ride your process off of your emotions. You got to you got to tap into the substance that God has produced down on the inside of you that's going to call forth, right, the very thing that you're walking through now to identify that, listen, my emotions will not suppress, and will not override what I know to be true in the spirit realm. Anyway, listen, y'all, I can go on and on, but this morning this thing hit me, and I just want to let you know that this thing ain't about Shay. This thing ain't about any one of us, but what was given and what happened for me in the transformation that took place in my life was not meant for me. It wasn't for me. I thank God that it happened, but it wasn't for me. It was so that I can be of service to you, so that you may in turn see the substance that's within you, the significance that your life has, that you could be of service to somebody else. Because the reality is that you all have a platform. You all have an audience that's waiting to hear from you. Yes, Shay is speaking, right? So Shay Speaks is just not about, I was like, God, I can't say Shay Speaks when he told me Shay Speaks. Like, it sounds good. The cliche sounds real good. But I was battling with him like, I can't, what? Shay Speaks? He said, yes, you can, because the way I'm going to give you what I want you to say to my people, you're going to be able to articulate it in a way where it doesn't come off so profound, where, it's not so deep where people can't follow. People need to be able to understand. In order for them to be able to transform, in order for them to be able to convert, in order for them to be able to change their mindset, they got to first be able to understand and follow along what you're saying. If you're speaking so deep and your words are so eloquently, you're speaking it so eloquently that people can't follow it, people don't even want to hear you. They're not going to hear me. And I know how I am. Listen, anybody ever took a class with me? Anybody ever been in Bible study with me? Anybody ever been in any type of atmosphere where if there's a teaching moment, I am the question asker. I'm going to ask questions until I get an understanding. I'm going to ask questions even after I got an understanding. If I see the look on Ty's face like, huh? Like that just went over my head. Yes, I'm going to hold up the class and I'm going to ask a million and trillion one questions until I see Ty nod or Taisha nod or Maisha nod and say, girl, I got it. Or I see their countenance of their face begin to change and say, I got it this time. So once I see that the people that are with me, they got it, oh, we can move. But until then, we're going to stay right here. But that's the glory, Jasmine, good morning. That's the glory in all of us, our uniqueness. We have a way of touching people that nobody else can touch. My delivery ain't going to be your delivery, and your delivery ain't going to be my delivery, and it is okay. But this platform, the group of women, the group of men, the group of the couples, the singles, the mothers, the fathers, the teens, the children that I'm trying to grasp, I'm trying to pull is individuals that understand that I know I was called to be a leader. I enjoy following. I love playing the background. I want to be quiet. Put me in the corner. Listen, I'll do the work. Just don't tell nobody I did it. Listen, your significance and the substance that is behind the significance that's on your life is too great for you to be quiet in somebody's background. What? Yes, I said it. You may be an introvert. You may not even like to talk. But God is going to put you in the position and in the circle of people that's going to recognize what he has placed down on the inside of you, what he has gifted you with, that produce the significance and the substance that, listen, can't get through to my children, but you got what it takes to get through to my children. The reality is that, hey, listen, as a mother, it is Mother's Day, and mothers, let me tell you, specifically, you are significant. Yes, you are. Father, all of us are significant, but this weekend, the significance is about you. Your significance is so great that God is able to give anything that we are given as women. It is intended that we multiply. I heard some preachers say that, and it's good and it's true, right? So we can give life, right, through birth. A man gives us an attitude, and we'll in turn give him all down below. Y'all know I'm talking right. Y'all know I'm talking right. A man say something and tick you off, especially if it's something that you don't want to deal with. We as women, we don't want to deal with, we don't want to address. We will give him a whole attitude for the rest of the day. And he ain't said nothing wrong. He was talking right, but we just don't want to deal with it. Yes, we need help, women. But we ain't talking about the help we need. We talking about we're going to celebrate us this weekend. It's Mother's Day. Y'all are significant. I just love y'all. I do. But anyway, this morning, just identify, listen, everything that you've encountered, every area of your life that you feel that, listen, I don't like, every part of you that you don't embrace, God himself has given it to you because you have significance. I love you too, Cousin Tina, so much. I do. Happy Mother's Day. You have significance, and in your significance, you produce a substance greater than anybody else that can produce, because guess what? The uniqueness that God has placed inside of you to deliver and to be of service to somebody else. So even in the book of Jeremiah, where God told Jeremiah in the very beginning, he told Jeremiah, just like he's telling many of you, many of us, that before he formed you, he knew you. Child, yeah, he knew you. Johnette, he knew you. Yeah, he not knew under the sun when it comes down to God concerning us. He knew you. He knew that we were going to in turn turn our backs. He knew that it was going to be hard for him to take cussing from me. Yes, he knew. He knew. I don't know why that was a habit that I even was able to pick up, because he knew it was going to take that long for him to take it from me. He knew. So I'm not trying to hide from people anymore. I'm not. I am not. Like, it is what it is. God knows me. And I'm still significant. How about that? You still significant. Yeah? Even in your state of trying to figure out, well, God, what is my niche? What is my purpose? I know what I love. You need help? I help you. Talk to me. Talk to me. I got some questions that will help you to identify your purpose. And let me tell you something. God don't purpose you for something that you do not love. So that's why I said, Wow Inspire's mission statement is igniting, reigniting, reviving, and reigniting the passion to walk into your purpose. Because God purposed you to do something that you love to do. People know I love to talk. Hello. Good morning, Tisha. Thank you for tuning in. God knows I love to talk. He know I love to talk. He know I don't meet no strangers nowhere. He know I love people. He know I genuinely love people, regardless of what they say. I love the hell right out of them. Yes, I do. But yeah, he know I love people. That was a sidebar, but I'm just saying, like, he know he purposed you for the very thing that you love. So if you don't know what you purpose for, you still can't put your finger on it. Like, God, I know it's something in me, but I don't know what it is. Listen, we can help you figure it out. I promise we can. So yes, you guys, listen, just like Jeremiah, God called him to be a prophet. And in his in his obedience, he was standing before the great nation of Jerusalem, of Judea. Yes, Judea and Jerusalem, the prophet Jeremiah. And if I can recall correctly, right, he was called at 17 or younger. He was young when he was called. Good morning, Coach Chester. He was called young. Listen, everybody's not going to step into the church. Some people, the closest they will get to the church is your lifestyle. Yeah. Some people, the closest they will get to the church is your lifestyle. So be intentional about how you engage people, how you love on them when they're in your presence. Coach Chester, thank you for tuning in this morning. I want to shout you out because even in your job as a coach, you do some things that some of the parents may not like. But the thing I love about Coach Chester is any kid that plays on Coach Chester's team, Coach Chester is giving them playing time. Coach Chester is able to identify that regardless as to what anybody say about those kids, he still gives them the opportunity to perfect their craft, right? So listen, Wow Inspired just isn't for women. Like my baby said, y'all, J&J is the host of the Wow Inspired Kids edition. That is going to be launching in June. We are going, I'm telling you, I want these babies to come on over. Yes. Even down to Harlem and Harmony's age young. Listen, we have to train these kids up because even their life, they have significance. And it is our job as influencers, as leaders, to literally cultivate the gifts that's down on the inside of them. What I mean by that is we see potential in our youth, but because they're having some behavior challenges, we just say, oh, well, honey, I can't do nothing with them. They too grown. They wise beyond their years. They've seen some things. So even at a young age, it's our responsibility to help them to identify that we are where we are now, but we ain't always been here. Hello? I was stupid crazy for a boy when I was in high school. Yes, we were. You was too. Or a woman when you was in high school, you wanted to be a player. So you contributed to some of, the emotions that teen girls went through when you was in high school. So why is it that we get where we are in our lives and forget them? No. I'm telling you, I am intentional about breaking generational curses to produce an environment, a culture that's going to bring forth generational blessings. So I try to be very mindful of your time. We are here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m., every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Any of these live broadcasts can be found on YouTube at I Am Shay Speaks. That's I-am Shay, S-H-A-Y, Speaks, S-P-E-A-K-S. All together, you can find all of these live broadcasts on YouTube. Yeah, that's right. You don't be supposed to be on Facebook at work. Guess what? Put your YouTube on. Listen at the YouTube broadcast as you work. Remember, there is significance in your life. You have significance in your life, your experiences, your rejections have significance, your fears had significance, and everything that you have encountered, there was a significance behind it. And the significance was so that it could produce substance that you would inspire someone else. You would be able to inspire the influencer in someone else. Guess what, you all? Happy Mother's Day. Continue to be significant in all that you do. Continue to allow God to produce a greater substance so that you can influence somebody to ignite their passion and to walk into their purpose, their God-given purpose. So that is my spiel for this Saturday morning. You all be significant in all that you do. Understand that even in your shortcomings, yes, in your shortcomings, when you grow through your process, there is significance behind all that you have going through, all that you are growing through, and all that you will eventually come encounter with. So we are here to give you these messages to produce a greater level of wisdom, that when you start to encounter a situation that brings on hardships, that brings on those emotions, you can say that there is significance in this. That after all of this, this is going to produce some substance, that when I open my mouth to give the testimony, when I open my mouth to speak to the next nation, when I open my mouth to speak to the next generation of individuals that's going to identify the very things that I'm saying to you, that you can produce to them, that in whatever they experience, whatever they encounter, that there is significance that's going to produce a greater substance that's going to help someone heal, be made free, not set free, but be made free, right? Be made free. And at the end of the day, walk into their God-given purpose. So yes, thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day again to you all you ladies. Gentlemen, your time is coming. Your time is coming. And yes, I'm going to be partnering with some men. I've already reached out to a few of them that I want to actually have on as a guest on one of these live broadcasts, to just share some, some insight, some of their growth experiences with you all. So be intentional about all that you do. Know that God loves you, and so do I. I am Shay. I am here to inspire the influencer in you. Have an amazing Saturday. Ladies, enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. And y'all continue to pray much for my strength and my family as we do the same for you as well. Love you all to life. Have an amazing day.